I thought I'd show you guys how I install my GE Icicles. They're a great addition to any show. You have lots of effects. It really adds a lot to it. So I highly encourage anybody considering them to go for it. When I first did these Icicles, the first year I got them, I went with a simple method, just hung them from ropes and hooks off of my eaves, and that turned into an epic fail. The wind picked up even before my open date. They started flapping in the wind, they came loose, they were hanging. I had damaged some of them, I had to replace them. It was just terrible. So I had to come up with a much more secure method of installing them. So I thought I'd go through how I do that, and let's get going with the walkthrough. So the backbone of the system, I've used PVC pipe. And so on the front, I'm going to show you where I have cable ties periodically along each length of the icicles. This one actually goes through holes in the PVC pipe, and that prevents the icicles from spinning around the pipe. And this one here wraps around it. I have the wrap around onto the PVC pipe about every 8 inches. As I've made some metal brackets, and all I did is went down to my local steel supplier and bought some angle that's 2 inches by 1.5. Now you can get different sizes from the steel supplier, and depending on how far you have to offset from your eave, you may want to get one maybe that's a little bit bigger. But for me, the 2 inches is the long side, and that attaches to the actual icicle. And then the 1.5 inch is going on to the soffit on the edge of my house. Now I don't have gutters, so this may not work for somebody who has gutters. All right, so here's one installed. I'm going to lift up the icicles a little bit and show you what I've done here. See, on the top there, I put a hole. I got a 1/4 inch bolt, and I run through the center of the PVC pipe. And on this hole right here, I put a bolt through that it screws into the side of my house. And what I've done on the soffit is I drilled a hole all the way through, and I put a T-nut, 1/4 inch T-nut on the back side of it. And then the season's over, I take the icicles down, and then I take the nut and I screw it right back into the eaves. That way it just stays there year round. When you get around to painting it, it'll just hide there with, you won't see it because it'll be painted white or the same color as your eaves, whatever color you paint your house. Right. Do a close-up here on the cable ties, going through the holes there, and that prevents it from twisting. And this one here just locks it in place. And as you can see, I have these periodically. You'll see also this piece of rope. That was the system I first tried hanging it, and that was the epic fail that I described to you earlier. It was terrible, kept me up all night. So but I've left them there, and the reason I've left them there is now I use them to hang them up in the off season in my shop, up in my rafters, which you can see right here. I just made some mounts. I got some hooks that hook onto those ropes, and I hang it off some bars I put up in my rafters. And you can see some right there. So that's just a piece of 1/4 inch rod, the same stuff I use to make my wire frames. And I just had some left over, so I drilled some holes and I hung my icicles from it. So marked each one exactly where it goes on my house. So I always put the same place because I didn't precisely measure these brackets being the same place on every one. When I first built these, I just screwed them in place where I'd mounted them, and so therefore I've tracked it to make sure every year I go back same place, they fit up, it's quick, it's easy, and everything locks in solid. Instead of using the PVC pipe, you could use EMT, 1/2 inch EMT, install it the same way. The advantage of that is I have one location I use the EMT, because I wasn't able on the peak of my roof, it was on the edge and I was worried about falling off, so I have a longer section that's unsupported, and that's why I use the EMT on it. So that's the system I use for installing GE Icicles on the side of my house, with these metal brackets and the PVC pipe, all cable tied to the icicles so they're locked in nice and solid. It's worked really well for me. I hope this will help somebody out there. Have a great day.